Blog Talk Radio.
I was a hard-drinking sinner with blood on my hands. I was a hard-drinking sinner, a gun in my hands, drinking 40 pounds for dinner till I met a big man. And the man said, how do we do? 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 Well, I feel like reborn. My good eyes witness misery, but I'm feeling alright, cause the man said, how do we do? 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 Well, I'm feeling reborn, I'm feeling new, cause the man said, how do we do? This is Ryan.
And this is Holly.
There you sounding all staticky again, buddy. You sound like a robot.
Shit.
Yeah, I know. Get them damn youngins off that damn PlayStation, girl. Shit.
Yeah, I know. Hold on a minute. I'm going to put myself on mute.
It is May the 4th. Maybe you're going for the Darth Vader sound. Whatever you sound like Darth Vader. So it's
like
just no, it's not that bad. All you Star Wars fans, it's May the 4th, so May the 4th be with you. Yeah, May the 4th be with you. Can't even talk. May the 4th be with you. Or as I say, May the freak be with you, because that's, more appropriate. For us anyways. So how was your weekend?
My weekend was good. Can you hear me okay, first of all?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Here now, I know you got the whole can on the string thing going.
Yeah, it's hard up in here. Okay.
Up in here? It's hard. Really? Sounds like a personal problem to me. Damn.
Yeah, I know. It is. It really is. What did I do Friday?
What?
Well, I can't remember what I did. Okay, Saturday. Saturday, Noah had a ball game, a soccer ball game, and Sunday we went hiking and done stuff around the house.
Hacking?
Friday.
You went hacking?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Hacking? You sound like a hacking.
Kiss my ass, Ryan, okay?
All right, fine. Bend over.
All right.
Oh, yeah. I went there.
It all.
Damn it.
I'm bearing it all.
Bearing it all? Do what I do. I went to Gordonsville, the Exchange. Helped out there. Scraped paint all day. Came back, went to Dennis's house. Had a little bit of a bonfire. Took Rihanna, my friend Tara, and her kids up there. Had a good old time. Had a good old shindig up there. Good. Good in time.
That sounds good.
Oh, yeah.
So tonight we have Elaine Irving from RC Paranormal out in Rockingham. What is it? Rockingham County, Virginia, right?
Was that what it is? Rockingham County Paranormal?
No.
I guess the
County.
RC Paranormal. I know if I'm saying I know what the RC stands for.
Oh,
I thought it was
yeah.
remote control, but I guess not. I guess remote control paranormal isn't really. They just sent remote control cars into the haunted locations and took cameras on them and shit. I was totally making that up. I have no idea. It'd be cool if they did that though.
But Elaine is actually on the other end, and I want to go ahead and put her through, Ron.
Okay. Yeah, help her. She can save the show from it totally collapsing around us. So yeah.
Hi, Elaine.
Hey, Elaine.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Oh, fine. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you for having me back.
It's a
I
first
just so
time
happen
for me.
today that I'm going to be the heavy breather online because I've got terrible allergies right now.
No, I'm not watching. I'm not watching any porn while I'm doing the show, so there won't be any heavy breathing tonight.
Okay.
I'm going to miss you in chat. By the way, to anyone that's listening, we are in chat tonight. Elaine's usually through there with us. Yes, I'm topless.
I'm not wearing any pants. I'm not wearing any pants either, so, yeah. So you guys are lucky.
So I'm lonely in chat. I usually have Elaine in there with me and bullshitting and going on, but tonight she's on the other end. She gets to be our guest tonight, and which is going to be awesome because it's my first time getting to talk to you, Elaine, about your experiences.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you tell us where you're from, Elaine?
I'm originally from Norfolk and Chesapeake area. Down Virginia Beach. I was born in Norfolk originally, and but I've lived down there all my life.
Mm-hmm.
And we moved up here in 2004, I think it was, to be up here with family.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but that's where I'm originally from, and my mom and my dad and mom bought like 40 acres up here.
Mm-hmm.
In the area.
Oh, that's
so,
cool.
Yeah.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah, so I have all my family members living. My sister Debbie lives on the same road I do.
Well, that's me. I like that. I like that. They have family close by.
I live up in the holler, and everybody's kin up through here too.
Yeah, that's sort of like the way it is here. And the area there back home was getting so bad. And
oh really?
Oh, the traffic is horrible. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, especially in the summertime.
Oh, geez.
It's insane. I mean, you try to go down 64 in June. It's insane. It might as well be a parking lot.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and go down towards Nag's Head. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I bet you like the nice open spaces up in the mountains.
Yeah, I do. I love it up there.
That's awesome. So what got you into the paranormal? As in far as,
actually, it was the house that we lived in before we moved here, and it was pretty bad. I mean, it wasn't when we first moved in. I mean, we had a few experiences in the house, like walking up and down the stairs and things and such. But the longer we lived there, the worse it got.
Why don't you start from the beginning and tell us exactly what happened? Because I've heard the story before and think Holly needs to hear it because it's, you're right, it's quite an experience for sure.
Yeah, well, I think when you live through something like that, you never forget it, ever.
Oh,
you just always remember it. And if you hear a noise or squeaking, it's my Alaska Malamute. I'm bringing them in.
That's fine.
Anyways, we bought this house back in 1993, and we were renovating it. And there was a few things that started happening in the home when we started renovating it. I mean, it was like supposedly it was a house that was on that was built in like 1915. But later on, we did some research on it and found the house was built in 1880. And because we had to go down to the library and do some research on all that and everything. And of course, it's right in the middle of Native American people that lived there, and the Civil War was going through there and such like that. And so the land was real vibrant, and, real active. I'm assuming, and but before we even moved in there, we heard walking up and down the stairs, and the kids. I had the worst time with them because they didn't want to sleep in their room at all. They didn't want to sleep upstairs. They didn't want nothing to do with their room. And of course, I'm like, well, this will wear off. They're kids, and something new and different and such. But my son, Stephen, had his own room, and the two girls, Crystal and Brittany, had their rooms. And so, things just kind of went off and on like that with hearing small things. We noticed when we first moved in there that we had a terrible problem with bees. They were all in the house, and there was that they weren't in every room of the house. They were like,
you say bees?
And
like
bees.
Bees.
They were wasps, and they would just
fly.
And yeah, they were terrible. Like in my room, mine and my husband's room, and then I think there was we had issues with Stephen's room, which was upstairs, and then I think those two rooms there were the worst as far as wasps were going. But it was only in the rooms. It wasn't in the main part of the house or anything, which I kind of thought that was odd. But I think of it, and I do know when we first got in the house, I had this really weird feeling that there was something in there, that it wasn't right about the house. And I kept asking some of the guy in this house, and he says, well, I don't think so. And then later on I found out that there was something that had passed away in the house. And but things kept getting, like things started going bad. I mean, we just became totally different people when we were living in that house. And just these horrible things would just happen, like these light bulbs would just blow for no apparent reason, and we just had brand new electrical work put in the house because the old electrical work in the house was there since 1930s. And the way they would blow, though, they would make like faces inside the light bulbs. the way
Faces?
they would blow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Faces.
That is interesting.
And I can understand a light bulb blowing, but nothing like that. And so I remember my sister, we had just lived there. We had just moved in, I think, barely moved in. And my sister, I had my two sisters, Debbie and Mary, had come down. And I was trying to get ready to go back up here with them just to visit for a little bit. And I heard my sister, like, yell, "Oh, my God, did you see that?" And I jumped out of the shower, and I kind of stood there, and I was listening to what was going on. And Debbie said, "Did you see that, Mary? Did you see that? Something pushed me from behind." And she told me that it was like just two hands just came up on the back of her and just shoved her. And she was holding my son, Stephen, who was about, I guess, 3 years old. And she almost dropped him. But she never did tell me about it. Never did tell me about it until later on. And I asked her about it. And it seemed like that anytime anybody would come into the house, things would get knocked off the wall. Pictures would fall and just the radio upstairs. My sister says that she didn't like it up there because every time she'd go up and stay in the room up there, the radio would turn to different channels, and she'd turn it back and it would turn to different channels. And I thought, well, maybe this just like it's goofing off or something,
Mm-hmm.
trying to make them feel uncomfortable in the house. And
like a prankster type of thing?
Huh?
Like a prankster,
Right.
trying to just like, mess
I
with you
think
guys?
that's what it was, because it was like kind of walking up the stairs and, and stuff like that. And my husband, when he was over there working on the house, he'd go over there kind of late at night after he'd get off work and, work on stuff and cut walls out and stuff like this. And he come home fairly early that evening, and he says, the weirdest thing happened to me. He said, I was standing there on the ladder, and I was cutting the wall out, and he says, I looked over, and in the window was peering, this man was just staring in the window. Said the weird part about it is that the hair on the back of my neck was standing straight up. And he says, I just dropped everything down and left. And he says, I never, I didn't want and for a man to say
That's
that.
freaky.
And he's
yeah.
like a skeptic, a big time skeptic. But so, but then things started turning darker, there were smells that would start coming in the house, like fire, like a wood, like a fire, like something was burning outside. And it wasn't just me. It was people that come over to the house, and my sisters or my aunt was there, and she smelled it. And I'd go outside, and I'm like, I can't smell anything, but it would move throughout the house. It would start like in the kitchen. It would move, and then it would just disappear. And I'm like, I don't know where this is coming from. I mean, I just went outside and I just sniffed, and there was nothing out there. Nothing. And the kids got to the point where they really started having issues upstairs and saying that there were things in the room. And Stephen got to the point where he didn't even want to stay in his room. He would go into the girls' room, and I guess they just felt better being in one room, kind of safe. And it really got to the point where we ended up having to move them downstairs because they just, there was just too many things going on. And I know my niece told me, which I didn't know, and then after she told me, I felt kind of bad. But she said that she was, on the top of this room, and she woke up and she was in midair, just kind of hanging there over the floor, and all of us on the floor. And she said, Aunt Elaine, something had picked me up and was carrying me out of the bed, and I dropped to the floor.
Wow.
And I felt so bad about that because, you know, you don't want your family members getting hurt.
Right.
And,
no way.
But it was just kind of weird how all this stuff just started happening. And I was standing there cleaning the furniture. I had this antique piano, and because I'm a big antique collector, me and my husband are. And but I was dusting the piano, and I was listening to music because I always listen to music and kind of dance and what have you. And I turned around. When I turned around, something just walked right through me, and I totally lost my breath. And I had this horrible, horrible feeling come over me, and I became really panicked and upset and kind of a depressed feeling afterwards. I didn't know what had happened to me because I wasn't that familiar with, you know, paranormal stuff back then. People just didn't talk about it, you know, and this happened. I thought I was just going crazy, you know, and so I did call this lady that I was hooked up with through some people, and she actually had a very haunted house there in Chesapeake, and I called her at work. And she was kind of my mentor with things going on and everything. But I you know, it just seemed like it was just one thing after another. And my family members, we had taken care of a couple of my family members that were hospice. They had no children. So we brought them in, we were taking care of them, my great aunt and uncle. And I remember this one thing where my great aunt told me, she says, I don't like sitting in my chair anymore. She said, there's something dark hiding behind it. And I know it's there. And I'm like, got freaked out by that, you know, because I'm like, Aunt Catherine, I don't see any dark thing behind your chair. And she says, well, it's there. And, you know, later on we kind of understood what she was talking about, but then I didn't know. And
what do you think it was? Like maybe
I think it was that dark shadow man that was in the house. I think it was him. I actually caught photos of him, and I
of him.
I actually caught photos of him, and I had him on this old webcam that you know how they first come out with these computers. And it was like on a 98. So the things weren't too sophisticated back then. Let's put it that way.
I remember those at webcams. So don't worry.
Yeah, but I had to do
college
something
all the time.
because I wanted to find out what was going on, and like I said, there wasn't anybody that I knew of that was doing that I could go to. I mean, I would go on the internet sometimes and kind of look around, and I do know that TAPS was out then, and I had talked to Grant a couple of times about what was going on in the house. But to try and find a group that was local was kind of hard.
Back then, I guess it was. Now they're all over.
It was like there was nobody, and you know, it was like couldn't find anybody to help, and if they did, they were kind of coming like out of a distance away. You know, it was. Well, we're in D.C. Let's see. I can get there about 4 hours from now. You know, that
meanwhile, all the stuff is flying around your house, and you get people like right now.
Yeah, in the meantime, I got crap flying everywhere, and I think what really spooked me out that one time was I was sitting in there, and it was kind of late at night, and I was talking to my stepmom, and all of a sudden I didn't hear a thing she was saying because I had my eyes fixated on this black mist. It was a thick black mist, and it was like rolling, just kind of rolling across the room. And the first thing that popped in my mind was, where the hell's my camera? You know, I have nothing to take a picture of it with.
Yeah, proof. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, but and you know, back then cameras weren't too sophisticated either. I mean, come on, Ryan, you're talking maybe a 2 or 3 megabyte or something. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, you know,
not
crystal
like
clear
they have
pictures.
now. Yeah,
but even
not like they have.
Even nowadays,
I mean,
people take pictures of Bigfoot, and he's still blurry. So, you know.
Yeah, I know,
maybe.
right? You wonder how that could be. How can it be blurry? I don't quite understand that. But anyways, that's just me.
Yeah.
But the kids started having really bad issues with things bother them when they were sleeping at night too. And I know that the Ouija board became a big in play in the house. That's when things really started picking up in intensity.
Yeah, Ouija boards are never smart to play with.
Well, I didn't know they were playing with it. Okay, I didn't know they were playing with it. Yeah, because you figure they've got sense enough after hearing me speak about it, because my father would play them. That's when they first came out, you know. And he would, you know, play with it like, well, how many televisions are in the shop? Because he was a television repairman. And he'd say, Ellen, it told me the right exact amount that was in the shop. And I was like, I'm getting freaked out by this shit here now.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, really? I mean, it's a kid, you know, and it's something new, and it's something weird, and it's something you never seen before. How can this thing tell you things?
Yeah, but you don't even really think about it really talking to spirits. I know I had a Ouija board, and when I was a kid, and I'd ask questions and stuff, but I guess I never made the connection that I'm actually talking to a spirit. You know, of course, I'd ask dumb questions like, you know, who's the coolest person in the room, or, you know, stuff like that. We'd all kind of
how long am I going to live for? You know, when am I dying? I mean, you know, that kind of party type thing, you know. And I know the girlfriend and boyfriend thing used to be real big back then. You know, well, who likes so and so? You know, it's like,
does Johnny like me? Yes or no? Or, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, I know, right? It was like it's too funny, really. But then when you start reading on them, and you start learning about different things, and that's when you start. And then, of course, there came The Exorcist, was real big back in the 70s. And I remember me and Debbie had gone to see The Exorcist, and she comes home and she goes, Elaine, I got a Bible out because there was something up in the attic moving around. Like, oh my God, Debbie, really? You got scared? Oh, Jesus.
Hey, it's good to have protection just in case. You never, you know, just to be in the
I
safe
know,
side.
right? And she was like,
you know,
she just wasn't like that. You know, she wasn't.
Always
calls them
mouse or
Bible
something.
thumpers. I don't want to be, you know, sound terrible or anything, but she just, that's just her. And yeah, and then after you saw it, it was like, well, this can really happen. So, I told them about all this stuff, and they, of course, you know, they, being kids, they gotta go in there and start screwing around with things that they don't know a thing about.
Yeah.
I was one of those kids.
Yeah.
I didn't
well, exactly.
Well, the bad part about it is that I took the thing and I said, look, give it back to whoever you gave it, you know, that you got it from, I don't want it in the house anymore. And so I thought they gave it back to her. Well, I kept finding it sitting in this closet, you know. And so I said, well, look, I got it out one day, and I said, I don't know, all right, guys, I'm taking this thing, and your father's out there burning, you know, a pile of wood. So I said, I'm just going to take it out there and throw it on the fire and burn it. Okay, and I'm sorry now that I ever did that, because stupid me, did not know any different. I shouldn't be burning Ouija boards. And they were screaming out I could hear them in the house, looking out the window. Oh, don't throw it on the fire, Mom. Oh! And they were screaming, Mom, you're going to let something loose. And I was like, yeah. And,
right.
Yeah, and so I was sitting there, and I was standing there, and then all of a sudden, it was so weird, because there was not a speck of wind blowing at all. And all of a sudden, it kind of flared up and got this really weird color to it. The flame did. And it got real high up in the air. And then all of a sudden, the wind started blowing, and I got this really weird feeling. Like, oh, shit, I have done something now that's not good.
That's
and
something you hear, like, in a movie or something, you know? Like,
I know.
The wind starts, the fire raises up, the wind starts blowing.
Honestly, I swear to God it did, and they were screaming, no, Mom, you've done it now. And I was just out there saying, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee, and I was, I was going, saying the Lord's Prayer and anything else I could think of, because I got scared. I literally got scared by what I was doing. And then, I got back in the house, and the kids were like, Mom, I told you not to throw that on the fire. Now you've done it, da-da-da-da-da. And I said, look, I don't believe in that kind of thing. If you want to believe it, go ahead. But, and so that evening, my sister had brought her little girl over, my niece. And she was in the back room kind of playing around and stuff, and she comes screaming down the hallway into the kitchen, and she goes, there's a lady at the window, and she's tapping on the window and asking me to let her in. And it scared me. Now, she was 5 years old at the time, and, so I really didn't believe too much in it at that time. I guess I just didn't think anything of it. I mean, I felt bad that she saw something, but I didn't see anything myself, really. At that point. So, and I could sit here and talk all night about stuff that happened in that house. We lived there for 13 years. And that was 13 years of nothing but hell.
So at what point did you reach out for help, Elaine? When did you reach that breaking point?
I think when Crystal got scratched. And she was being pushed and scratched. And I think that's when I decided that she got pushed and then she got scratched. And then she was in the shower and she come, I guess it was about 10:30 at night. And she comes screaming out of the bathroom with a towel wrapped around her, standing there dripping wet, and my brother was sitting there and my sister. And she goes, Mom, something marked on my arm, Mom. And I looked at it, and I was like, something had written on her from the inside out on her skin.
Oh, wow.
And you had to read it, like, backwards, like, put a mirror up there and read it because it was that inside out type thing.
Oh, wow.
And I knew she couldn't do it. Yeah, I knew she couldn't have done it because there's no way she could have written that on her arm, and it was almost like it was like burnt in there, like a burnt carving or something. And I knew a little bit enough to, tell her. I had to calm her down first because she was hysterical. And when you're attacked like that, I can't think of anything any worse than being attacked.
Right.
And I do know that, that there was a couple of times that the feeling of being scratched by something that you can't see is intimidating enough. And then it burns so bad that it feels like that somebody had taken a hot poker and stuck it on your skin and just laid it on your skin. That's how bad it burns. That's the only thing I can say, But I think that was really when we first started asking people for help. And I did get somebody come in and do an investigation, and I guess it's where the premise of it all came in because I swore after all this happened that I was going to go out there and help people that needed help without leaving them and not helping them first.
Right.
And that's what happened to me, though, not once but twice.
Wow.
And the first time came out, they investigated, and there was a lot of screaming going on upstairs, and people hollering and stuff, and the guy said, well, we'll get back with you. And I said, well, what should I do? Should I call the police in, or what should I do? Well, we'll let you know. They never came back. They left me hanging with no help. And so I'm like, well, I got to do something, So I started talking to the Grant online, and he gave me a couple of ideas that I could, like write everything down every single day, what time it happened, who it happened to, all that stuff, and try to get as much evidence as you possibly can. And that's what I tried to do. So in the meantime, here we are, like still going through all this crap, and I remember I was laying in bed one night, and I woke up, and I turned over. My husband was laying in bed next to me, and I turned over, and I looked at him, and that was not, I swear to God, on my deathbed, that was not my husband laying in that bed next to me. That was a black, veiny-looking thing laying next to me. That whatever it was was not human.
Wow.
I mean, even now, it just kind of makes my heart race thinking about it because it was so...
That's scary.
It was scary, and the bad part about it was I got up the next morning and I told my husband about it, and he says, well, why didn't you wake me up? And I said, I couldn't move. I was terrified to move. All I could do was cover my head back up and pray to God that whatever was there would go away. That's all I could do because I was that frightened.
Right.
I mean, it was like I and then you start thinking, well, really, did I hallucinate or something? No.
Right.
But,
so when did you finally get help, or did you get help?
Actually, we never did get any help.
Wow.
And by this time, I think that's when things started coming out about different, about caps being on television and stuff like this, and going to different places and haunting and stuff. And I know I met a lot of people online because I did some moderating for caps in their chat room for quite a while. And so I met a lot of different people on there. Some of them I still know. And I still keep in contact with them, but never did get any help. And we had actually called out another team. This was the second team. We had called them out. They came over. They set up like the day before, which I thought, well, this is going to be great because they've got, cameras in all the rooms and stuff like this. This is going to be really good. And there was a bunch of them that came over, and that was quite a large house we had. So by the time time came, all that was left there was one investigator in the whole house. And he lay down on the couch and fell asleep on the couch and left my children to do the investigating.
Wow.
That's what I said. That's what I said. And I'm like, I cannot believe. I don't think people knew enough back then. I think they wanted to get out there and do investigating, but I don't think the mannerisms weren't there to help people that really needed help. And I was sitting there stuck with my kids, needing help. The whole family needed help. So I went down to the priest. Me and my daughter did. Went down to the priest at the Catholic Church. And I said, we need help. And that didn't work out so well. That didn't work out well at all. No.
So
no.
You went to go see a priest, and that didn't work either? Aren't they there to help? Aren't they supposed to help you?
They didn't want to help you.
Yes. That's what they're supposed to be there for. But see, there's a stigma that was on back then with people that saw things and heard things that I thought was a ridiculous concept by this time because they think you're crazy. You think that they think you're hallucinating or imagining, or there's got to be something mentally wrong with you if you're seeing this stuff. How could all these people? How can all these people coming in and out of the house and visitors that had been there? They saw all this stuff going on.
So what is like a mass hallucination that everyone in the house has seen these things, and you all are just crazy? Is that what they're thinking?
Yeah, I guess back then that's what they were thinking. That's why people didn't want to come out and start talking about it.
But,
people didn't want to talk about it. There was a bad stigma for people that saw things.
Yeah. I've got a Shelley Walker in the chat, and she said, was police experienced in this sort of thing? I'm assuming, though, Elaine, he was, but it wasn't something they could openly come out and do.
Do what?
For anybody.
What's that?
The priest that you went to for help.
Yes.
Shelley in chat wanted to know, was the priest experienced in this sort of thing? But I was assuming that the priest was, but couldn't do anything.
You know what? I don't think even then that they were really advised on such things as they are now.
Yeah, but he could probably find someone to help you, though. He could look, go into his Rolodex and try to find someone that could possibly give you some advice or something.
Well,
at
that time,
you think.
I was so depressed and downhearted, and I kept having these terrible headaches, and getting nauseated at my stomach. This is when it was really, really getting bad. Just terrible headaches and nausea all the time, and I was losing a lot of weight. For me, that's kind of impossible. but it was getting to the point where my daughter didn't want to stay there anymore. My oldest daughter, she wanted to move away, and to this day, the oldest one, she just doesn't even want to talk about the stuff that went on.
Wow, it affected her that much, huh?
Yeah, it did. It affected her.
Wow.
That I guess because after being pushed and shoved and whatever, scratched, you'd rather not remember it. And then she kept seeing this dark, smoky thing above her that would hover above her, and she just left. She says, I can't take it. And then I know my brother, who's cerebral palsy, was staying with us after my mother passed away. And he was upstairs in his room, and he had like a recliner chair up there, and he was sitting in it. And he come running down the stairs, if you want to call it running. He tried to get down there as fast as he could. And he says, something took my chair and lifted it off the floor.
Oh, wow.
With me in it.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, what do you mean something lifted you off the floor? Because, I mean, he was trying to tell me the best he could of what was going on.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And so he says, I was sitting there, and he said something took, I guess, because it was like a recliner, and it had this foot thing that would go out. And he said whatever was there had taken that foot thing on the recliner and gone boom, boom, boom on the floor with him in it.
Oh,
and
shit.
Actually lifted the rocker up. So I went upstairs, and that room was so freaking cold. And I said, Joey, is it always this cold in here? And he says, yeah. He says, I can't keep it warm in here. And
what time of year did that happen?
This was during the winter time.
Okay.
Okay. And I kind of figured, we had AC heating and, heat pump heating and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, in an older home, you kind of think, well, maybe there was some drafts or something coming in. But even at that room must have been 30 degrees. It was so cold. I mean, you could see your breath.
So it might as well have been outside, is basically what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's just no way. I mean, there's no way. And, granted, we had these old windows and stuff like this, but there had storm windows on them and stuff. And so I was like, okay, well, Joey, I think we have something in your room here. And I tried to explain it to him. And he says, well, I was laying in the bed the other night, and he said, I woke up and I was choking. I couldn't breathe because he had sleep apnea. And he told me that something had taken and cut off the oxygen that was being pushed out through his hose, and he couldn't breathe. So I looked at the oxygen mask and everything, and I even called people to come out and take a look at it because I don't need something killing my brother off in the middle of the night, because he can't breathe. But they checked it out, and everything was fine. There was no blockages anywhere in the hose. And I asked him, I said, well, is it possible that maybe if he could have laid on it that would crush it down? And they said, no, the hoses were pretty sturdy. You can't do that. So I kind of had to keep an eye on him because, you know, I was afraid that something would, like, push him down the stairs or whatever, you know.
So, yeah, that's pretty scary.
Yeah. So I just kind of kept an eye on him, but I do know that he was downstairs and he was sitting at the dining room table and he was so angry.
Mm-hmm.
And normally he's not that angry. I mean, you know, he was angry. And he says, "I'm moving." And I said, "Why are you moving?" And he says, "I can't take this damn house no more." Joey never cusses at all, but he was going at it. And
wow.
I said, "Well, Joe," I said, "I don't know what to tell you." He says, "I can't take it. It's upstairs bothering me all the time, bothering me." And I'm like, "Okay, well," I said, "let's go back upstairs and I'll take a look and I'll maybe take some sage or something and go through the house, whatever's in here, or maybe leave you alone." And so I went upstairs and I was sitting on his bed, and this bed that he had was my nephew's bed, and it was handmade, and it was made out of the heaviest wood material could you ever think of getting. I mean, you couldn't pick it up. It took 3 or 4 people to pick it up, and that would have to be men. It was just heavy. And I was sitting there on the bed, and we were talking, and then all of a sudden, I felt the bed. It felt like it was lifting off the floor with me on it. And it did it right when I was sitting there talking to him, and I wasn't expecting anything. And it literally scared the crap out of me. And I was like turned around and looked in the air like I'm really looking at something right. And I go, "You can't scare me, okay? So knock this shit off right now." I was pissed by this time. I was freaking pissed.
You've had enough. Yeah. I mean,
I was
pushed you so far.
You know. So I stood up and I told Joe, I said, "Look, I'm going to go get some white candles and I'm going to go get my sage and I'm going to come up here and we're going to cleanse this room out. And I want you to keep a check on the thermometer. I'm going to stick one in here. You keep an eye out on the temperature in the room here. And anytime you see it go down and it starts moving, you need to let me know so we can try and work this thing out, you know, get some, I don't know, what was I supposed to tell him, right? We'll get help. Yeah, I'm going to come out and use some more sage on your room. And, I mean, I was just trying to do the best I could.
Make him feel comfortable at least, you know. I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Well, when we stood there and we were standing up in the middle of the room and getting ready to go down, the weirdest thing happened, and I swear to God, this blast of cold air, and it almost felt like a tornado type twirling around. I couldn't see it, but I could feel it. And it was so cold. And then all of a sudden it was gone and the room started warming up again. And I said, "That's it. It's gone. Let's go down, get the stuff, come back up." Yeah. And I had talked to several people about, you know, putting sage in the 4 corners of all the rooms and the windows and stuff. I was trying to do anything I could possibly do to you know, keep things from going on.
Yeah.
And if I'm talking too much and you want to ask questions, just butt in because I'm a talker from hell.
Jam it, Elaine. I want to ask a question. No, I was going to ask, what was your breaking point? Did you decide to move because of the haunting, or was it just something else?
Part of the haunting, that was part of it. What really broke the camel's back was when my stepmom and my dad were living there. They had lost their trailer in that horrible Isabel hurricane that we had down there, and it totally did in their trailer and stuff. So they came in and moved with us, and we were over helping the people next door with a wedding, and my stepmom was over there and she was helping and da 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 da. Well, things were going on and on. Things seemed to be going okay, and then about 11 o'clock at night, Brittany comes running over and she says, "Mom, there's something wrong with Grandma." I said, "What do you mean something wrong with Grandma?" "Grandpa told me to come and get you. There's something wrong with Grandma." And so I went running over there, and nothing in this world could have prepared me for what happened that night. And Dad was coming out of the bathroom, and he says, "I'm trying to get her. I'm trying to help her, but I just can't," because Dan's had like 2 bypass surgeries, and he's like really old with a cane, And I went in there, and there she was, laying in the bathroom floor. And I said, Lee, wake up, Lee. And she says, "My legs hurt so bad." And I said, "What do you mean your legs hurt so bad?" And I felt her legs, and they were cold. And I said, "Are you all right? Are you all right?" And she says, "Get my rosaries." Well, I went to her around. She wanted me to get her rosaries. And in the meantime, I'm like thinking, the woman's dying. She's only 54 years old, and she's dying on my bathroom floor. And so I'm like, I got back in there, and she started humming. And I said, "Lee, don't hum. Don't hum, Lee. Wake up, wake up." And she didn't wake up. And by the time they got there, I know she was dead. She died on the floor. And but of course they were out there trying to revive her and everything. And I told Steve, I said, "That's it. This house has taken away everything that I've just about loved and taken it. We're moving. I'm not living in another moment in this house ever again. Ever." And that's when we moved. And I took everything out. We were loading up the U-Haul truck and everything that would go out of the house. I'd go out there in the truck and I would sage the hell out of everything in the truck. I did. I swear to God, I did. I saged everything that came out of that house because I didn't want to bring any of the blackness, any of the darkness that was in that house with. I didn't want to bring it with me.
Leave it behind.
I mean, we all were different
as much as you can, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it was when it changes your who you are as people. I mean, when we first moved in that house, we were a loving, a vibrant family.
Yeah.
And full of love and everything. And by the time we left that house, we had totally changed as people.
Wow.
Wow. Amazing how a house, how something can change, just totally change your life just like that without, just moving into the house, not even that started at all. Just even beyond that, finding the house and buying it, all that stuff. It's just like
you
chain
think,
reaction.
you're going to grow old on this house, and you're going to let your grandkids grow up and sleep on the porch and all this stuff, and you just have this idea, and the idea just kind of died and left, and it changes you as people. And I swore to my children that I was going to take and help people that needed help with the paranormal. There are so many people out there that even now don't like talking about it as much.
We got to take a break now. But how about we get back from the break? You tell us what you've done, to help with the paranormal and how you got started with RC Paranormal, and if you can talk about some of the cases you've been on with the
I got
paranormal
some doozies
group.
on that one too.
Oh, we can't wait to hear
Absolutely. All right, you guys.
I'm going to blow your skirt off now.
We'll be back in a few minutes, guys. Be freaky.
Seven Cities Paranormal presents their second annual Paracon at Ferry Plantation House, Saturday, June 6th, 2015, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., rain or shine. All ages are welcome. Admission for adults are $10. Children, seniors, and military is $5. All proceeds go to the Ferry Plantation House to keep the historic and haunted mansion alive. There will be speakers, games, food, prizes, and paranormal fellowship and fun. You can go to 7citiesparanormal.com for more information as it comes available. If you're a group who would like to set up at this event, a 10 by 10 spot is $25. You can bring your own tent or awning. For more information, contact Heather Moore at 757-676-2662. Again, that is 757-676-2662. And we're back with Elaine Irving. And we're going to play this song again because it's so awesome. Not.
One more time. Woo! Great song.
We're back with Elaine Irving and, of course, me and Ryan. Before we jump right into it, I had a question for one of the girls in chat, Miss Shelley. She said, did everything stop when you guys moved to your next home?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So nothing followed you?
Nothing followed us. Thank God. I was so, and my son So he wants to bring one of the damn doors from the house with him because it's got all his stickers on it. You know how boys are. I'm
yeah.
like, really?
You know guys and their stickers. I mean, come on now. We love our stickers.
Yeah, well, he did. He loves his stickers, and I told him, I said, well, that's going out on the burn pile, okay? That's going out on the burn pile because he says, well, that's okay. I don't want it now. After we had stuck it in the truck and carried it down here with all the stuff.
No, you would think
door.
after burning that Ouija board that you would stay away from burn piles. I mean, come on.
I know, right? I better just stop while I'm ahead, right? Just don't mess with burn piles anymore.
Yeah, burn piles are bad.
They're bad. They're bad. Yes.
I got a question to ask you real quick. How many how many spirits do you think were in the house in total? As an estimate. Players. Yeah,
okay, I do. All right. I did have an experience with a little boy that was in the house, and I do believe that there was a little boy there. And one of them had, the one group that had come there first did actually catch this as evidence, where my daughter had this, this real thin scarf hanging in between two rooms. And you could actually see a little hand go across that scarf, and it just kind of rippled down. You could actually see his little handprint going down. Now, they did catch that.
My question to you is, did anybody move in the house afterwards, and did you hear anything else about the home or find any new information after moving out?
They tore the damn house down.
Oh, wow.
They tore it down. They tore it down. They tore it right down. I was like, all that work we put into that and all those cabinets. My husband's a cabinet maker. So he did all the woodwork in the house. And all that just went to the ground. It was a sad thing. It was a sad day. And every time the kids go back there, they get their picture taken with where it's at, because it just, I don't want to say it just held a lot of memories, but they did some of their growing up there. You know how it is.
Yeah, but also you don't want the people moving into the house, too, going through the same thing that you went through either. So it's like, it sucks that they have to tear it down, but it's almost like you don't really have a choice in the matter,
Well, you know what? I really started thinking about it because it was such an active place and there was a cemetery down the road. I was thinking that I don't know if you've ever heard this saying. It's an old saying, and it's called soured land. Land that's sour.
Yeah.
Okay. And I really think that land was just sour. There was just so much negative things that happened on that land. And I do know that slavery was real big down there in the area. And I'm pretty sure I could almost bet on it. There was like this tree out in the front yard that it almost looked like it could have been used for a hanging tree. I mean, it just looked like that kind of tree. And it kind of spooked me the hell out just looking at it. I mean, it was a beautiful tree, but it just had a weird feeling to it. And I don't know if any of you two have ever done any, had read up on any of this or not, but as far as mold growing on trees, they say that if mold grows on a specific part of the tree, that's the side that the paranormal activity is most on. Have you ever heard of that?
No, that's a new one on me. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I was told by one of the groups that came out about the mold growing on a tree.
Oh, I ain't never heard that before.
I've heard
I had never either.
On the tree growing towards the sunlight, if you get lost or whatever, but that mold on the tree thing, I haven't heard that yet.
I had never ever heard that before, but that's what they told me, and I'm sitting here still to this day trying to figure it out.
Might be a little white tail. You know, like cats always land on their feet or stuff like that. Like, oh,
yeah.
You know, the mold grows on the north
know,
side of the tree. That's where the graveyard is.
Yeah.
But you know, it's how long ago was it when these investigators come in that house, Elaine?
Let's see. We moved in there in '93. I would say about 3 years after we had moved in there. That was about 90.
Well, I was going to say not too much has changed now, because I don't know about you guys or any other groups out there, but we've had to go back behind people and clean up their messes, as I call it, because you have these groups who have the adrenaline rush of wanting to go in and investigate, and oh yeah, we're a group, and oh, we're going to get in the house. Oh, this is pure adrenaline, and when it comes down to it, they get freaked the fuck out. They don't know what to do, so they leave you high and dry, which is bullshit.
Yeah. Well, they got lots of television shows, and they get they have courage. Oh, we're gonna go fight some demons, and woo, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, well, that's pretty prominent now as far as these smaller individual sporadic groups that are, you know, like springing up everywhere. You know, that, you know, have seen these shows and they think that they're going to get out there and do, you know, investigate stuff. It takes a lot of work to investigate a place.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Of course, you know that, guys. Yeah, it takes a lot of work. And, I mean, we go in there, we do, you know, the pre-investigation, and we go in and talk with the family, and we, you know, do photographs and what have you, and find out what's going on. And then we do the investigation. Sometimes we have to go back and do 2 investigations.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, to be thorough, you know.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And you know, some of these houses can be so small. So, you know, you have to do it. You have to really watch about the sounds picking up and you know, all this stuff, and just send 2 in at a time, so there's no, the slightest bit of noise will actually cause a piece of evidence to just fly right out the window.
Right. And see, that,
you know?
I mean, when you've got somebody listening to your audio, you got to be sure that person remembers exactly everything that went on, because I'm taking notes in my head all through the investigation about, oh, well, like if somebody sneezes or even if they burp or if their stomach, I have them saying that was me, you know, because
make sure nobody whispers.
Yeah,
that gets me every time. If someone starts whispering, I'm like, was that? Because you don't remember every time someone talks. So you have to, especially if you're on like a public investigation, you have to assume that when you tell them not to whisper, that it's not them, because.
And you also have to remember everybody's voice, and that helps a lot, because there's been many of times where somebody else has been going over the EVPs, and they'll come back and say, oh, what was this? And I'm like, no, remember you did this during it? So I've gotten good at that, but.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, it's just, you just got to make sure that you got all your ducks in a row before you go in there, and you got to, you know, make sure that the people know exactly what they're doing when they go in there, and that's good investigators. Nowadays are hard to find.
Let's start from the beginning. Tell us how you started RC Paranormal.
Okay, when I moved up here with my sister Debbie, or when I moved up here next to my sister Debbie, we decided to go ahead and put a group together, even though I was doing some investigating down there on my own. And you actually, every time you would do an investigation, just like in your home, you're learning something new. You're working with equipment. You know, you're learning about what shadow plays can do and such like this as far as photographs go. And but when we moved up here, I just wanted to carry on what I wanted to do, like ever. Yeah. And my sister Debbie's house is extremely haunted, and it always has been. And she's had a shaman come in and you know, take care of her house a couple of times because of it. So we just decided to go ahead and put a group together, and and try and go around and help these people that need help. We're trying to find. We do mostly in-home investigation, where we help the people out. We'll go around and do other investigations, but that's just for just to get practice or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Our main thing is that these people need help. They're wanting help. It's very hard for some people to come forward and say, I need this help.
It is.
I need to find out what's going on in my home. So that's what and places that haven't been investigated before, that's the number one thing for us, too. All these places around, and we've discussed this, all these places around have been investigated over and over and over again.
Yeah.
That the ghosts are probably sitting there going, well, there's somebody else coming. Here we go, guys. Come on, get on the show. And
it's almost
this is
places
crap,
like
man.
Really places like the St. Albans or Edgewood or any of those more famous places. It's almost like we treat the spirits like they're animals at the zoo. Let's go see the spirits, guys. Come on.
Maybe it's the other way around.
We forget they're people.
Yeah, right.
Don't tap on the glass. You might scare the spirits.
Who can we fuck with today?
I'd be pissed if I was a spirit. I really would be if they kept coming in there and bugging the hell out of me. I'm trying to find some peace, man. I don't know about you, but I'm dead. I want to find some peace.
Not me. I'm going to be making hell when I'm dead.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll give you guys some good evening.
I know I will be. There's no doubt in my mind.
We'll be all together. That's all I got to say about that.
I know. Too bad. I kept thinking, well, if I ever die, gosh, I don't know if I know what liquor tastes like. Let's see. I have some of that. What was that stuff called? Dragon's breath, or what is it called?
What are you talking about?
No, the dragon. It's a drink. It's got cinnamon in it, and it's like a
Fireball.
Fireball. That's it. I keep thinking about dragon.
Dragon's breath.
That's that Fireball, man. That is the stuff right there.
Fireball.
That stuff will put hair in your chest. That is
I'm
for sure.
telling you right now, sitting there drinking it straight, my lips were peeling from the cinnamon.
See, now you're making me thirsty. Fireball.
Well, sometimes after you go on these investigations, you just got to have a little drink.
Yeah. You have a bit of a pair hangover, as they say.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Sometimes it's pretty hairy. And I do know this one investigation that we did was pretty intense, and it dealt with a girl that was playing with a Ouija board.
Okay.
And she said that this spirit came through, and it said its name was Zozo. Okay. Now I don't believe in you can't say spirit names and all that crap because I just don't believe that that you're calling it in. I you can call in different ways, but I don't think that's one of them. So she was having issues with things going on in the house and things with her, and we went over there for the pre-investigation, and things just seemed a little weird. Well, I'm an old type of person that has to have these cassette tape recorders. We have regular digital recorders, but I like cassette tape recorders, and it's put this high definition microphone in there, and stuff, and really pick up a lot of stuff. And I'll start running the thing right when we get there, even though we're talking.
Right.
You can sometimes get something over you talking,
Yep.
Yeah.
So Debbie and the client was in the bedroom, and I had the tape recorder going there, and all of a sudden it just kind of made this real funny noise. And Debbie, she called me over the speaker. She says, "There's something wrong with your tape recorder. You need to come and check it out." So I went in there, and before I got in there, she said that something literally, it felt like it had, because she went over to touch the tape recorder. She said it shot out of the tape recorder, felt like it went right up into her head, and she got this pain, this real intense pain in her head.
From like a shock type of thing from the tape recorder?
No, something had literally went through her.
Wow.
Well, we didn't think much of it. Home, and a couple of nights later, she started having nightmares of this thing, and it had like red eyes, and it scared the living crap out of her. She said, and Alex, her husband, said that he went in there in the kitchen, and he was going through a drawer, and he was trying to pull something out, and he said that all of a sudden this flashlight just came on all by itself and went off. But he's like, yeah, right. He picks it up and he's looking at it. There was no batteries in the flashlight, but yet the thing came on and went off. Well, this freaked him the hell out, and it got so bad that it literally chased her and her husband out of the room, and they had to go. They slept in the living room. It was attacking her at night.
Wow.
This was all because of the Ouija board?
Come home with you.
Yeah. It came home with her. Because we went back over. We actually got a Reiki healer to come in. And, and try to cleanse everything for her.
Right.
And we took the Ouija board down by the river, because this is what I contacted Bishop Long outfit, and they told us this is what we needed to do. So we took the Ouija board down, wrapped it up, took it down by the river, dug a hole, and while we were sitting there putting the different stuff into the salt, the bound it, and all this in there, and burying it, we had a tape recorder going, and it said over the we are coming with you, Debbie. That's exactly what it said.
Oh,
damn!
And when it said that, you could hear a crow in the background crowing.
Damn!
Just like that. And
wow. Was there a crow?
That's not all it said, because I was saying the Lord's Prayer, and then I went to St. Michael. It's you could hear it pick up on the recorder. It said damned Christians. That's exactly what it said. Damn Christians.
Now, was there actually a crow there when you did that, or was that when?
It was going FU. I mean, it was cut like crazy too. So
wow.
I mean, this is what we got off of it. And I think it sure did, because we had never dealt with it quite like this before. And this was I don't know if you want to call it demonic. I think it was just something that I think it wanted you to think that it was demonic, but it really wasn't.
Right.
Yeah. Because I think a lot more bad things would have happened if, I think it would have got more intense. And
That's a big misconception in our field too, and especially with just the investigators themselves, is they don't realize that it's just not a spirit or demonic, people. Okay, you got to realize demonic activity is rare. Second of all, there's other things than spirits out there, and people don't. If you cannot open your mind up enough to know that these other things exist, then honestly you shouldn't be in the field, because every one of us that are in this and do it for the right reasons know that there's more than just spirit or demonic activity, demonic entities. There is way more than that.
Well, yeah, spirits can act demonic if they want to scare people. A spirit can turn a cross upside down just as well as a demon can.
Yeah, they'll make you think that they are,
Yeah.
Like you're sitting there thinking, well, I think this is a demonic thing and da-da-da-da-da. Well, I'll show them,
Well,
I'll
plus
show them
if they feed off fear and you're scared of demons, and that makes you even more scared, it'll give them more power.
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
the first thing I hear. Out of everybody, I don't know about you guys, but everybody that I go into a case with, if they're having something scary going on that they think is awful scary, they'll say, I think, it's something demonic. And I'm like, listen, don't even say that word. Don't even say that word. And, because I tell them, I'm like, this is probably not even what you think it is. I said, I'm not saying it ain't, but let's just not even go there. And, after we're through, it turns out that it's like a family member or a spirit that's just agitated because they've done something wrong in the house, like moved something, or it's just that simple. Not everything's that simple. But then you also have cases where you have the client, there's something wrong with them. I've said this before, and I don't give a shit, because but a person has called me, and Pat Bussard on it before, but people who have mental illnesses, darker entities prey on them people, and you have some people that don't want to help themselves, so it's kind of hard to help them clients. And I don't know if you've dealt with that either, but oh my gosh, it's very hard to help them people.
We've dealt with a lot of different clients. We've gotten a couple of clients, and not saying that all of them are like that. They're far in between, but we've done some cases that are like, well, you got to come to my house. There's something going on, blah, 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 and get out there. And,
right. Oh, yeah.
And the woman is like a freaking nutcase, and she wanted to know about, where do you get those machines at? I was thinking about getting one of those machines and using it in the house, and I said, I kept telling her, it is not advisable that you take and use machines in the house. Okay?
Yeah.
We use these machines for a specific reason. I said the reason is that you don't go through the house and try and tape record them and stuff like this. You don't mess with this.
Yeah.
They're never going to go away because you keep contacting them. And they don't seem to understand that. They don't seem to understand.
Well, they think it's just fun. It's fun, and we got a voice, because I've had people sitting with the audio recorder constantly for hours and hours a day doing stuff. I'm like, listen, stop it. Don't even run the recorder. Stop it. It
also becomes an addiction for people, especially when people can contact who they think are their loved ones through a recorder, and they don't want to stop, but you don't know for sure if you're talking to your loved one or not. You gotta try to clean that.
Sometimes those recorders are basically like a Ouija. You could use them like a Ouija.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Not knowing what spirits that you're getting there, and it's just like with the spirit box. Now I know damn good and well when we were over there with that Zozo case that whatever was coming through on that spirit box, it kept saying names that were part of our family.
That's trying to scare you, though. Yeah, trying to intimidate you.
That was scary. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Because it was saying names that were in our family. And I'm like, okay, why is it saying the names that are in our family? This is totally ridiculous.
Yeah, because it's nice something.
It's freaky.
But they ended up actually moving out of that house. And so they seem to be okay where they're living now. I assumed that it was something that was just very dark in the house that didn't like them living there. Because that's people that die that are nasty people when they were living, that did things wrong, that were bad to other people, are going to be that way in death.
Yep, absolutely.
True. Yeah.
They're going to be like that after they die.
Probably even after death.
Yeah. I mean, and so, you know, you're working with a whole bunch of different personalities when it comes to dead people. I mean, it makes perfect sense. And but it's you know, and
what do you think?
Go ahead,
what do you think when you see Ouija boards on sale, like at Walmart or Toys R Us, and you know, have glow-in-the-dark Ouija boards now? And why do you think they're so popular still after all this stuff that's been going on?
It's curiosity. Of course, curiosity kills a cat.
Yeah.
You know? Kills a cat.
I was at one of our meet and greets a couple of weeks ago at the Inn at Wise. That's one of our big locations that we're working on. But there was a girl that was a waitress in there, and she said, we played with the Ouija board, and it told us that it was somebody that died. Somebody got killed, and they're buried up on this mountain. And I looked at her, and I'm like, quit playing with that thing. I don't fuck around. I looked at them straight face, and I said, what are you doing? I'm like, do you know how to close this thing? Seriously? She just looks at me like she's scared, and I'm saying, like, I hope to God you're scared, because I'm here to make you scared. Because if you don't know what you're doing, don't even attempt it.
She's not going to be sleeping tonight, or whatever you had. She's going to be up all night, all 3,000.
Listen, I don't play. We had a case about 3 weeks ago, and one of the boys in there was like, what if I played with the Ouija board? I said, well, you better be fucking prepared what's coming out of it, okay? And he just looked at me like, okay, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm like, it's damn straight you're not going to do it.
I mean,
it should come with instructions or like how to open and close it. Just a little piece of paper.
Because nobody believes
hey,
real is real.
Well, you know, and I agree with that. I agree with that they should. But even at that, they'll mess something up. I mean, come on.
Well, nobody reads instructions anyways. I'm a man.
Yeah.
Shit. Come on, we don't damn instructions. Give me that damn thing. Here.
But it's like, I don't think people realize that they're playing with fire when they do that. I mean, it's bad enough that paranormal investigators get out there and do what they do. And it's sometimes it can be a very dangerous job to do this kind of thing. I mean, just so many times you've heard of paranormal investigators either had to stop working or, something attached themselves. And I've had things attached to me, but, you cannot come with us. And we went over there to the Exchange Hotel. That's where it was.
Oh,
and we were leaving over there at the Exchange Hotel. We had done an investigation over there. This was way early on. And we were getting in the car, me and Debbie, and she was driving, and we were driving home. And I told Debbie, I said, there's something in this car with us, because that is a nasty smell I smell. And there ain't nothing in this Jeep that smells like that. So she says, I think you're right, because I smell it too. So I had to sit there and say, look, you cannot come home with us. You've got to go back where you came from. So just leave. Leave now. And a couple of minutes later, it disappeared, and I never smelled it anymore after that. But, it got in the car with us. It was going to go home. All I could
sometimes
see
we'll
was
pick up some stragglers, some hitchhikers.
Yeah, I'm bad about that, too. I mean, they attach themselves. And I'm like, get away from me, I don't want anything attaching itself to me and, bringing it home and introducing it to my dog and husband. They wouldn't be very happy with me if I did that.
No, I mean, even if you do the prayers of protection, they're not all, 100%, like they'll protect you. They'll give you protection, but, it's nothing's 100%.
Right.
So you're definitely taking a risk about what you do.
Yeah, we make sure that we do protection prayers before we go in there and do an investigation. And even if you have something that you want to do at home before you leave to go on the investigation, you can do it at home. And then even when we go out on the job, we'll do it. Have a prayer session and all, just to make sure. Or if you have something like, I have a St. Michael's that I wear all the time, and I constantly wear that, and that's what I wear for my protection. But it's
what's your favorite piece of equipment to use when you go on an investigation?
What is my favorite equipment?
Yeah, what would you like to use the most? What is the most important piece of equipment, do you think?
Okay, I think the most important part, I rely a lot on recordings, digital recordings.
Me too.
I think EVPs are the best thing in the whole wide world that you can use as a piece of evidence. People nowadays are getting so out of photographing. Not saying that photographing isn't good, but I think that taking photographs is a lot less likely because of you're picking up glares or this or that.
Yeah.
I think that out of all of it, that's our favorite is the EVPs. And we do video recordings and stuff like this, and we've actually used different kinds of equipment that we're trying out. Like we actually took a stun gun out and was setting it off for the electrical charge in the air just to see. And we had even thought about taking a touch lamp out and putting it on one of putting it in a room or something, like a little touch lamp, to see if something actually may be touching it, or come over and maybe touch it or something. Just something,
trigger object.
I mean, we're always doing something like that to try and see, if there's something different that we can use to get evidence. So just little things to make. I mean, I think at one point out here I was just goofing around with the copper wires, and but I don't put too much.
Rods?
Yeah, I don't put too much hold in that. I'm not too big on the dowsing rods, because for one thing, especially if you're in a place that has a lot of water, or what have you.
Ley lines.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It'll just get you. It'll take you all over the place. Now compasses, I do like compasses, because if you get in a magnetic field, sometimes it will go around. There's places out here that do that where we live. But there's a lot of activity out here on our property.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
I know. I rely. Back to the talking about your equipment, Elaine. I mean, we use different things, but I rely on my audio. That's what I love to go over, and that's what I love to use, because no matter what happens, because we have Josh, our investigator in West Virginia, he brings down his dowsing rods, and we've used them. I don't care for them, but we have some on the team that like them, and we always take we take them experiences as just that, because to me it's not audio for me, it's not auditory for me, it's not visual for me, and we all know for us to have a visual experience, it's going to be a personal experience, because how often are you going to get that on video? You're not on video. So but
if you get something on video, it is extremely rare.
It is
extremely rare.
It is. Absolutely.
You got to catch right at the exact time, or have the recorded video going at all times, and hope you catch something.
It's just a lucky fling in the dark. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It happened to us
on video.
Yeah, it happened to us
once.
On video.
Did it?
Yes, once. Yep, once. And I'm the one that goes over all of our stuff. So, you know, when I'm looking through it, of course, dust and everything else. It wasn't nothing like that. It was something going up the stairs. We was in the basement, and you could see these pair of legs like going up the stairs, and it was a white mist looking thing, and I about shit myself. But you know, when I converted it to put it in, which I've still got the raw footage. I keep all these in files, but when I went to go put it and convert it and put it on Facebook, which is on Facebook, the video is on Facebook. If you can blow it up and look, you can see it much clearer. But the raw video is, you can see it a lot better. But because I had to convert it to put it in that video format, it
downgrades it a little bit, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. It really does.
Wow.
But I thought it was awesome.
I like
That's
them.
the only time we've ever done.
Yeah, when you catch something like that, you're just extremely lucky, and you were lucky that you caught that.
Yeah.
Just at that right time.
You were meant to. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, you know, at the same time, we was around in a circle doing a ghost box session, and one of the girls said, "Can you go upstairs and play with the ball?" Because we had a ball out for trigger objects upstairs, and at that same time, this is when you see them legs going up the stairs.
Wow.
Missed or
so play with the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, where was that taken?
Now, when you caught it, were you holding the camera? Were you holding the video camera when you caught it?
These were stationary. These are DVR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
This was about 2 years ago, but I'll link it for you guys so you can watch it.
Oh, that'd be cool. I'd love to watch it.
Yeah,
I'd love to see that.
We caught a door opening and closing out at Bell Nemus, out in Powhatan. We had a DVR camera set up right outside, and you see a door open by itself and close. But you know, we would never have caught that if we hadn't had the DVR set right at that exact place.
Yeah.
You know. I mean.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's really funny because it seems like you just half dozen miss something. You know, I mean, it never fails. If you're there, you got the camera pointing one direction, and then and then on the other side of the room, something happens. You know what I mean?
Whatever happens behind the camera or something.
Yeah, you're trying to catch it, and you just by that much.
Let me tell you. We had a case about a month ago, and we had a candle that flew off of a freaking nightstand, and we did not have cameras in there. No, I was like, what the hell was this shit? You know, what was this shit?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. See, and I get all excited when something like that happens because I just get all excited because it's just, I don't know, you know, it's not that I want proof that there is life after death because I already know there is.
Yeah.
You know, I know there's life after death.
It's so exciting.
But,
you know?
Yeah, but it's just that it's for me to think that did this really happen? You know, there's nothing standing there and it really happened. You know, and I just get blown away every single time that something happens like that.
Or when you hear that.
With the video, or not the video, but the EVP
audio. Yeah.
Oh my God! It's like every single time, you know, you hear it on the tape, but you didn't hear it through your ears, and sometimes you might hear it like a speck of it, but it's so exciting to hear.
It's always exciting to hear that.
What kind of message is it trying to relay to you? Now, we did do this investigation, and this, it was over in Shenandoah County, and we were doing some EVPs in one of the rooms or something, and gosh, this is so long ago. Anyways, we brought it back, and we were listening to it, and it actually gave a, I guess where the place is, there was like troops during the Civil War that used to walk past there. And it actually gave the like platoon number or whatever, you know, of the. We had to go look it up to make, you know, to see if this actually did happen, and it sure did. You know, we were going, oh my God, this is crazy. But
wow, That is awesome.
That, she was standing there waiting for whoever it was that was coming back from the war or going to the war or whatever, and because it was a female voice, and she was, I just can't imagine being a woman back there in the Civil War,
Yeah.
You had to go through.
It's you're hearing voices from the dead. That can never get old. I don't know. I don't care how many EVPs I hear. Hearing voices from the Civil War. I mean, that is just incredible to me, and it'll always be incredible to me. It will never get old. Once you get hooked,
the same way.
You're hooked for life, I think.
I mean, it's kind of cool to hear it with your own ears, but you don't have it like as evidence.
Well, it's fleeting.
Like Holly said, it was just it was a personal experience.
Okay, I heard it. That's cool, but at least with the recorder, you have it there always. You can always go back and listen to it, analyze it.
Oh yeah.
Try to figure out what they're talking about.
Yeah, I love it, and I love helping the people. And there's, so many people out there that, we're really thankful that, and we've gone all the way up to Pennsylvania to do investigations, and we've gone, down to, I think it was Chesapeake. We had one down there, and these people actually just needed the help, and it was they tried to find answers, and why is this person bothering me?
We always
a lot of times it's people that passed away in the house, or it's a loved one that was might have been there or something, but I didn't know any of these spirits were going in and out of my house, and I'm pretty sure there was quite a few.
Yeah.
So I just kind of left it at that, but I was sure glad to get out of that hellhole.
You've been through a lot, for sure.
No, geez, it was, so then I thought, I'm going to write a book about it, right? So I start writing, and life starts happening, and so there sits the book. I started this book like 7 years ago, and it's still sitting there. But, it just, so I figured the only way to tell this story was to get on television and tell it. You're not alone. There's other people out here that have these same issues. The only issue I've had with it is that they like to flip-flop the story a little bit and make it.
I've heard that before with him.
Not, and that's the only thing I didn't like about it, because if you're going to tell a story, tell it when it, tell its truth. Don't.
They want to even know.
They want to change the narrative to make it. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell it like it is. It's scary enough.
It's scary enough.
Happening.
Yeah. It's scary enough.
But then to add other stuff. I mean, they had me flying out of a damn chair in the one. It was like the damn chair was levitating up in the air, and I said, "That's not what happened. That's not what happened when I was sitting in that chair. It bounced up and down off the floor. It was trying to scare me, and it did a good job. But hey, don't be doing crap like that. I hate it when people put. Yeah. It's not fair. It's not right.
That's what happened to these shows. Some of the shows that are on air. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but when I listen to the shows, I listen for the storyline. What happened to these people. Half that shit they put in there, it's like it's up, it's made up or whatever, and it didn't even happen the year it said it happened. And so, and my kids didn't act that way. Stuff like that. I mean, it's so stupid. You're gonna keep it real. Keep it real.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're probably thinking you're probably think well she's lucky to be on TV anyway, so we'll just do what we want with the story, and she'll just take it.
I think what they try to do is make it as scary as possible, because you know how
they do.
Young kids love this gore. and all this crap going on.
Yeah.
And so let's make it as scary as possible and scare the hell out of these poor people. Like they're already scared enough.
Well, you know,
exactly.
I mean, that's fine and dandy for television, but if you got people who really are trying to learn from their own, say they're having something going on in their house, and hey, I'm going to watch my ghost story to see if I can find something that relates to what's happening to me. And you have some people will take that information and just, you know.
They need to put a disclaimer at the front of at the start of the show and say this is not for educational purposes. This is for entertainment only. A lot of people, you know, get mad at Zach Bagans for what he does, but people realize that it's just entertainment. He plays a character on TV, and the character gets people to keep watching the show.
I can remember when he first came out on television. Do you remember when he first came out on television? And
I remember the documentary he did back, like I guess 2004 or something.
That was
with,
the most
with
awesome
Virginia
thing
City.
I've ever seen in my entire life. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. But I do respect him because he does bring a lot of information into the field as far as new techniques and new things that he's trying out. And he does
talk to a lot of experts too. A lot of people.
And I think it brings a lot of good into the into the paranormal field. And I gotta say this one thing, and this tears me up every time. Is all this arguing and fighting and bitching and moaning and groaning that goes on between these paranormal groups in the field. You know, about who's better and what's better. For God's sake, get over it already. You know?
You know what
we're all in this. We're all in this.
It's sad. It is sad because
from each
it's
other.
Yeah. Well, it's just not in the paranormal field. It's everywhere, and I've started to realize that because it's not just other paranormal groups. It's people who you invite, because you can't be too nice. I mean, it's sad, but you can't be too nice to people because you get people who leech. I call them leeches because they will suck right onto you, and they will get everything they need to step on top of you and get to where they need to go. And that's what, sadly, it's happened to me before, and I'm pretty sure it's probably happened to everybody else that's listening who has a group and had one for a while. You have people that suck onto you and get what they need, and just like a kick or something, they drop off, and they either...
That's exactly what happens. Yeah, because they think that they're better than you or something happens. I don't know what happens. I know there was this one guy that we had in our group that was, he was a little on the dark side. And I really think he went to this one house out in Shenandoah, and they called it the Demon House. And it's this old abandoned house, and nobody wants to move into it because it is haunted. But he went in there every single night. Every single day he would be in that house, investigating that house. And I really think that whatever was in that house or whatever's in that house got a hold on him. And it totally changed him as a person.
It's sad to see people be totally obsessed into it because there is a limit on things, you know. Just like we say, okay, if you're going to play with the audio recorder, do it in sessions, okay, and don't play with it all the time. Don't.
Right.
I see people play with this in their homes. They're paranormal investigators and they're constantly doing stuff in their home. I mean, honestly, do you know what you're really doing?
Yeah. I don't want to know what's in my house. You don't want to know. I already know there's something in here because I've heard it. I mean, I think it's an old man. He just walks up and down the hallway. So I can live with that. You know, but when you start hurting my kids and you start hurting me, you know, we've got issues. We're going to have issues then. And, but, you know, and, I mean, I've heard him. I think what it is that they're all around us anyways. Even though we can't see them, they're all around us everywhere.
Yeah.
And I really do believe that, you know, they're just passing through, some of them. some of them still have
Yep.
issues that they're trying to, deal with and such. But, I think that for the main part, they're, you can't help it being around them. And I've done a lot of reading on the lines, the thin veils and the thin lines that kind of separate us. And I do believe that that is such a thin veil that separates the living from that spiritual world. And sometimes we're lucky enough to be able to tap into that, and then at other times we're not. And so, I do believe that they're just all around us all the time. And I think some people that are empathetic or sensitive, that they tend to gather more of them up as magnets, I guess, so to speak. They're like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I
yeah.
think we're getting to the top of the show, Elaine. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to make this another Elaine's coming back later kind of show.
Yeah, we
Maybe
have
I'll have
a
a
lot
better
to talk about.
Maybe I'll have a better voice by then, huh? I must sound like shit.
No, you don't sound
I
like
think we're all
shit.
feeling kind of under the weather now.
Listen,
'cause of
last
the
week
allergies and stuff.
I feel like raw shit. I feel like something just dug into my chest and decided it's going to dig it out.
That's how I felt last week. Last
Yeah, I
week
feel
was
like
me.
I don't know.
I was like, don't I
right there
sound
with
like
you.
shit? Rod's like, no, you don't. You sound fine. I'm like, I feel like I
Well,
sound
I'll
like
tell you
shit.
what, I'd love to get together with you guys. Holly, I'd love to get together with you girls. Honestly, swear to my soul, I'd love to get up there around where you are and just meet you one time. Just have a good time.
Come on, we'll just take a hike.
I know, I love hiking. But
Just go out in the middle of
you're
nowhere.
putting all those clothes up there and stuff like that, and you're working on that nice thin body of yours. You go right ahead, girl.
It's a process. It's a hard process, but
Honey,
yeah.
ain't nobody ever. Everybody
Yeah.
probably knows, been through it. I've always been one of them. Do you know that I'm under 5 foot? Okay, that's how tall I am.
Wow.
I'm under 5 foot.
Wow. I'm 5'4". So that says a lot about how tall you are.
I'm a leprechaun midget. That's what I am. They call my daughter. They call my daughter Leprechaun because she's so short. She's shorter than me.
As long as y'all ain't got hairy toes, we're good. We're good if you ain't got hairy toes.
Yeah.
Called it.
Hairy toes? Is that what you said,
like
hairy toes? Oh, my God.
Hairy toes. Usually we're in chat doing this shit, Elaine. Now you're on with us.
This is what we talk about in chat on the show. This is like, things can get crazy in chat.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I think
Chat
y'all
love.
doing a great job. And
we appreciate
we
that.
love you.
you've had some great guests on there.
Oh, yeah.
You really
Including
have.
you.
You've had some great guests on
Yes.
there. Oh, well.
Yes, you're definitely one of our great guests.
Too.
Sure.
I'm just somebody to
We
talk
love
to,
you.
Well, we love you, too. I love y'all. You're going to have to come down and see us, too.
No, definitely,
Yeah,
no doubt.
We'll drink some of that, what's this stuff called? Dragon stuff? What is it?
Fireball.
Fireball.
The fireball.
Yes.
How
We'll
about
call
some
it
white
Dragon
lightning?
Spread from now on. That's
Yeah,
the
we'll
new,
get
that's the new name for it.
some of that apple, get some of that
Apple
apple
pomade?
white lightning in it.
Yeah,
That's some
apple.
good
Oh,
stuff.
damn.
That stuff
Then we'll
tastes
really
like
be seeing
apple
spirits.
pie.
I know,
We'll
it's
be really
great.
be seeing spirits then. We ghosts all over
Yeah.
the place.
Don't be mixing them
Yeah.
two now. Don't be mixing them two.
Some white lightning.
I can't
Well,
handle
we'll have
like
a minute left in the show.
yeah, Elaine.
So
Share
Okay, guys.
your
Well, listen.
information.
Information.
yeah, what anything
No,
you want to share with us, with your group, anything coming up you want to tell people about,
Oh.
stuff like that.
Well, no. We're going to go to Scarefest. Yay.
Yay.
Can't wait for that. And then we'll probably go to the Paragon. We're looking at that. And we're just doing, just hanging out. There hasn't been a whole lot of cases lately. So that's kind of good, really, in a way. I'm kind of glad.
It is.
Kind of gives us a break. Especially, I don't know, it was like all of a sudden it just got really busy, and then all of a sudden it just got really dead. Excuse the pun. But,
the winter. I always say that too, and people laugh at me, and I'm like, I'm being serious, but it's funny. But for us, during the winter, it was so slow, and now we get a case every other weekend, seems like.
Yeah.
But that's how it goes every time.
Yeah.
Well, everyone moves slower in the wintertime. Nobody wants to do anything. It's just more of a kind of relax, and nobody wants to go outside.
Yeah, but, the thing about it is people, you would think there would be more activity in the winter because people are in their home more,
Yeah. I mean, I
would notice
might investigate in the wintertime if I had places to go, but, it's not like their spirits are taking the break.
I heard that January is what they call parasite month, was supposedly when the paranormal activity is at its highest in January. And that's what I've always heard. But I can tell you that I think we've had more activity during the summer than we have during the winter.
To
be quite honest.
It seems like right after Easter is when I started getting hits like that. And then people also say, because I'm not religious, but people say that they date back. What is the? We got Easter, but it wasn't originally
Passover.
No, not Jewish.
Like that. It's like was a pagan holiday.
Yeah, it's God. It's right at the tip of my damn tongue. What'd you say?
I don't know.
Hell,
I don't know.
Anyway, but but that's, I don't know why, but there's something around that. I got to look that up and I'll just share it. But because I researched on that too, because a lot of my beliefs, because I'm more spiritual, I go really sway to the Native American beliefs more than anything. And of course, I incorporate a little bit of everything. I'm like Wiccan and
that's what
pagan.
We do. Yeah, my sister's pagan, and I'm
I will do
Catholic, but I'm not a practicing Catholic. But I do love the religion. But I'm like everything, because you know what? I believe that everything is connected. One way or the other, and all religions are connected one way or another.
Yes.
And so that's just my belief.
It is. I mean, that's the truth, girl. Because I just, we just say.
Yeah. I mean, you go
people.
outside. The trees are my canopy. That's my church. The trees are.
Yes.
So that's that's what I look at it.
Mine's the bedroom.
You don't need to go to church to go to church. That's my
I go to church every day. All I have to do is step outside my house every day.
Exactly.
And every night in the bedroom.
Well, no. Now wait a minute, Holly.
I'm by myself in the bedroom.
Yeah, every night in the every night in the bedroom.
That's what I'm saying. Elaine knows where it at. Everybody knows
my bedroom is a lonely church. Let me tell you what. Church built for one.
Oh my gosh, so bad.
Oh, bad in a good way.
Guys.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? Elaine.
What?
What?
Well, we have a special guest correspondent on for Supernatural News. I booked her this afternoon. We have Brittany Irving coming on the show to do Supernatural News with us at the end of the month.
Cool.
To join Danielle and Bill and Holly and I. So if we don't scare her to death with all our talk,
no, she'll be really
she'll
good.
enjoy herself.
No, wait. She'll be really good about that, because I'm telling you what, that girl can look shit up. Now, I'm not joking. When it comes into stuff, she'll get on that internet. She's like a freaking computer on the computer.
We don't really read serious articles on that show, so I think like last week what about Michael Jackson ghost molesting kids.
You know what? I never laughed so hard in all my damn born days. You guys are nothing but a bunch of fools.
That's damn straight. Get won't hang out with us.
I started
Make
laughing
you
my
Elaine.
ass off when he's doing this sex paranormal stuff.
The Dirty Pillsbury? That's some
Oh
kind
my
of shit right
God!
there.
I thought I was gonna die laughing. You can't put on the computer and send it over how hard you're laughing at this stuff.
No.
We're glad we
And how I
entertained
was
you, though.
sitting back there
we're glad that
laughing. We were
you're
oh my God, you guys are crazy.
We're glad you enjoy it because, I mean, that's what we're doing it for you, for us too. But if we can entertain you and make you smile, that is awesome. That's what we're here for.
Well, it's like this, and I tell everybody, and this is something me and Ron both say. It's who we are on air is who we are off air. Yes, I'm serious about helping people and being in the paranormal field, but damn, I do not take anything serious. I am a pervert.
We talk about this stuff all the time, even like me and her just talking
with my mom and dad
bullshit with each other all week long.
Well, then we won't have that talk to go back when it was during the early 70s. Let me see. We won't go back that far. I'll tell you right now, I did some pretty wild things myself. Okay. And it has to do with weed, van, and Woodstock. No.
And the van down by the river?
The
van down by the river?
I'm telling you.
I'll be right back. I got pee.
Oh, shit. Holly and
she must really have to go.
But she's probably holding it the whole time. She was doing the show.
I'll tell you what, when you have to go, you gotta go.
Oh, I know. The worst is when you have to go and you have to try to get in the house, but you can't find your keys, and you're dancing around because you can't, you gotta hold it, and you drop your keys, like, oh shit, and then
Ryan, I got to tell you, I think those pictures you put up of your daughter are gorgeous. Rihanna, she's a beautiful girl. She's gorgeous. Oh, my God.
And she loves going, and she loves doing the paranormal stuff with me. I mean, she's really going very popular. She goes to the exchange with me all the time. And we went out to, we did Edgewood Plantation. We did a investigation there with Rhonda and a couple of people from her group, and she did a good job. And she was she got tired towards the end of the investigation. The last part, she actually fell asleep.
Yeah.
She climbed in my lap and fell asleep in my lap, kind of curled up. Which I'm surprised she could still do since she's so tall now. But I mean, she's definitely going into her own, I guess. She's
how old is she?
Becoming
now?
a young lady. How tall is she, or how old is she?
No, how old is she?
11.
Oh my God.
11 years old.
Lord, you're going to have to get a gun and have it right by when she gets a little older.
I know. I think the last time you saw her was probably
right.
at Paracon in
my
Lawrenceville
God.
2 years ago, and she's changed so much since then. It's incredible. Just
yeah, you're going to have a wooden stick, beat them bastards off of.
Yeah, I don't even. It's hard. It's hard for me to even think about that. To be honest with you,
I know it is. I know.
I still miss her being that little girl. You know, I mean, we still have fun together. It's not like she's doing off her own thing. I mean, we still have fun together, do stuff with her and stuff. She enjoys hanging out with me, but you still miss that little, the little girl, the wonder, And
yeah.
So think about her going out with guys. It's just too much for me to handle.
Well, we thought the same thing because with our kids, they get there they are just waddling around, and then they're kind of growing and growing, and they're so beautiful, and they're so coming into their own, and one day you're just kind of left behind, and it kind of breaks your heart in a way, because I know that they're still there, and I know they love me, and I know I love them, but it's just
it's different. It's different because you're not that you're not that almost like hero like anymore.
they're not
for me,
depending on you as much. Yeah, they're not depending on you as much, and it's kind of sad to see that go. And
and you almost wish, like, for me, I wish I would have done more. Almost like I wish I would have done a little bit more for her. You know.
I just pissed me
off. Feel better?
Everything. Did it all come out okay, Holly? I hope.
Yeah.
I ran through the house saying.
The whole time?
Oh no! I think I got a bladder infection, and just imagine my fat ass running through my kitchen to my bathroom, through to my dining room to get to the bathroom, saying, "Here it comes," and piss draining through my legs. Yes, baby, I did not make it. Here it comes.
Depends, or like do the show from the toilet. Use the computer in the bathroom.
I made it, but I didn't make it at the same time, so it was one of those.
Oh. You had a little bit of trickle coming down your leg? A little bit of a trickle? Is that what it is?
Yeah. I need bladder control pads.
Yeah.
Just think it gets worse as you get older, too. You think you have saggy stuff now, you wait till you have a saggy bladder. It's not a fun thing. It's not happy. Huh?
A saggy bladder. Wow, that's
I already have saggy tits, so we can't go any lower than that.
Yeah, they can.
And
Ryan's probably sitting there, what the hell are they talking about?
The usual shit
much.
we talk about.
This is what happens when we go in the, this is the after party now. We're in the VIP lounge, you know. This is VIP access. Not many people can get into what we're talking about now. The chat room, they get cut off. They're done. You know, they didn't pay access to this shit. You got to pay extra. It's still free, but it still sounds good to say you got to pay extra.
They got to pay extra to come to the after party, huh?
Yes, and learn about Holly peeing on herself. And
I told you I'm a very open person.
Yes, you are.
I am too. I'm trying to be very reserved because I'm not trying to make myself look like
because we are a very
asshole.
reserved show.
But
we are very reserved. We don't like any shenanigans on this show. We're very serious all the time. You know, we don't want any shenanigans. No monkey business on this show. Okay, we are very serious all the fucking time. Right?
Oh,
we're like
shit.
Yes.
We're like this, Ryan. And welcome to
Holly.
the show, Elaine Irving. Yeah.
How are you today?
That would suck.
Oh my God!
I ripped your lung out.
Jeez, I would last 5 minutes on that show.
That'd be so boring.
No,
yes,
I mean
would.
really, I if you knew me, like really knew me, I have a mouth on me that is just not right.
I do too. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah.
I was my dad. He does roadside construction, and my husband does too. And they was working together for the last month on this road slide they had during this big winter storm we had. And the guy that's up there over that, he I could tell just by the way being around him, because I take lunch up there to my dad and to my husband, and I'm the type of woman that don't take no bullshit. I don't like men who act like women are beneath them, especially older men who act like women are beneath them or are supposed to act a certain way. So I take lunch up to my dad, and he's standing at my dad's truck, and I'm like, I hate this fucking road because it's so curvy. I mean, my roads are curvy here, but it's really bad up on this mountain where you have to go, and I swear I made myself car sick. But he's like, hey, now, ain't no use for that language. I said, let me tell you, buddy, you tell me what to say, it only gets fucking worse. I said, well, damn. I said, you look over there at my daddy. I said, my daddy knows me. I said, you don't tell me what to do or I get worse. You know, that's the way I am. I'm a grown-ass woman. I'll say whatever the hell I want to. If you don't like it, turn away, walk away.
Yeah. That's pretty much how we are in this family. A bunch of sarcastic Irish people. You know, I'm telling you right now, get us drinking. Oh, yeah. There's no return.
Well, I've heard the stories. You know, going to
I'm sure.
camps,
I'm
camp
sure Howard
whatever.
has told you lots of stories.
Birds.
I get really goofy. Oh, let me tell you, 2 weekends ago, after we had that meet and greet, we went to Monterey's and ate at this Mexican restaurant, and I was fasting, and I had anything, because it's a juicing fast, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to have me a Long Island iced tea, and I did, and the first one, I was like, damn, this shit's good, and I was out there already, but then the second one went down, and I was all fucked up. I couldn't even make it to the bathroom. And there's like, there's like, you were the loudest one in there, but that's okay. You was the happiest one in there too. I'm like, ain't I always?
See, that's the way I am. I get
too.
real loud, and
me too.
And we're kind of loud people, anyways. But it's just we just like having fun and being with friends and enjoying
Absolutely.
life.
Yeah,
Me
I'm more of
too.
a quiet drinker. I'm not very loud.
Somebody, you only have one.
But I'm
You
more
only
of
around
a
us,
bonfire and just kind of chill out, kind of drink.
Yeah, that's what we like. We like to gather around the fire.
You
Yeah.
see me always over
And,
at Dennis's house, drinking beers by his bonfire every weekend. That's usually where I'll be.
I play in the fire. When I get drunk, I sway toward the fire. If there's a tent, I sway toward the tent. I've ripped tents down before, trying to knock on the doors of them. Yeah, I get goofy.
Knocking on the tent door.
Yeah, I get goofy too. And then I start making then I start talking shit about, like I love this person, and then I get real lovey.
Yes.
It's like, I love you so much. I love you so much. I just love you so much.
I'm like, I really
Howard's
love
probably
you,
told
man.
you about that one too, hasn't he?
I do the same shit.
Oh,
so
well, I do.
funny.
I just love everybody, but it makes it worse.
too.
And then I start crying. I love you so much.
You just don't understand how much I love
okay,
you.
we know.
Love you too. No, you don't.
Let me give you a hug. I love you so much.
No, you don't fully understand what I'm saying.
I know. I don't
You
care.
don't get it.
I don't care. You know what? I don't
Me
care.
Me either. I'm the same way.
I just love it. I just love being happy and laughing.
Drinking's fun.
Me
Yes,
too.
it is.
Yep.
Oh my God! When
It's
I was
not-
a drinker, back
When
a
you
long
were a
time
drinker?
ago, I could really drink. You think this is just nothing compared to what it was?
Sure, I'm such
And
a
that
lightweight
and
when
a
it comes to
little bit of-
alcohol. I can drink, but damn, I don't drink that much.
And
I'm
this,
so
I drink
glad.
every night, but I don't drink that much.
then I had to have a little Coke on it, And I can remember back a long time ago, we'd be passing the big ass bongs around.
Well, I can't wait till they legalize that shit.
Might as well.
Honestly,
what's the
they really
fun?
should. You know what?
They should.
They should legalize it because it's totally ridiculous. It's
It is
something that
ridiculous.
grows
We
wild.
can make some money
It's
taxing
growing
this
wild.
shit too.
Yeah.
See, my uncles and them used to grow it and sell it, and I have family up through here that, we have a bunch of people up through here. It's still moonshine and grow pot and sell it. And my first time ever trying pot, I'm 30 years old. My first time ever trying it was 2 years ago. And I was like, this is the greatest shit ever. And I'm so opposite of being drunk. When I'm high, I just sit there like, God, you
It makes you
and I'm
so
mellow.
Yeah, it makes you so placid and so mellow and everything, and it's just
Like, what the fuck's wrong with Holly?
That's
She ain't
why
talking.
Woodstock works out so well, was because everybody there was so high and so placid and just so full of love.
Right.
And just sat there and just got into it. Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of the
I love
problem is people see it as people have that stigma towards it. Like when you start doing marijuana, you'll start doing other things. It's just the stigma that's been there for too long. Even it's not true, but it's just been there for so long. It's almost like it's stuck almost.
Well,
And
it's
I think
like
once
some
you
people have a different
get the old
personality.
people out of Congress and get some of the new blood in there, there's probably more of a chance of them just totally making it legal all around.
Yeah, hell, don't get me started
so many
on
old
that.
voices out there that are
Yeah, just
don't want to
get me
change.
started on them old fogies there in the White House and bullshit. I want to take crap every one of them out of there.
I'm like,
assholes.
Fuck politics.
Yeah,
I don't like politics.
Yeah, that's a bad subject.
Like, it is. Well, when people are like, who do you vote for? I'm like, I don't vote. And they say, well, don't complain about who's in there. I'm like, well, as far as I'm concerned, I don't want none of them in there because they're all politicians.
Neither do I. They're all a bunch of liars and a bunch of you know what? This is nothing like it used to be. Back a long time ago when it first started out, it was supposed to be, for the individual people to live their life fully and happy. Now it's like, let's see how far the government can put the screws to you. Come on, let me see you. Bend over a little bit more. Let me.
It's the pursuit of happiness.
Absolutely.
We have the right to pursue happiness.
Yeah.
You know what?
They don't give a shit.
I woke up this morning, and I'm not a big cable person. Like, I Netflix it all the time. But I woke up this morning, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to drink my coffee, and it was already on cable. I didn't feel like switching it over to the PlayStation to watch Netflix. But I was like, I want to see what's on the Today Show. I flip it on the Today Show, which I rarely even watch, and I haven't in a long damn time. But I'm like, no wonder I never watched this shit. And I'm like, no wonder everybody's so stupid. Because what everybody was more concerned about than anything else, then I could think of a lot of more awesome subjects to cover, was about what the baby, princess or whoever they are in Britain, what the baby's name is going to be, and all this other dumb shit that I could care less about.
Yeah, that really cared. Like, really concerns us who they're naming the baby. I mean,
I don't care, and that was
exactly.
And that was so stupid. And that's dumbing people. Yeah, I don't like watching the news at all.
Well, it just pisses me off when I sit there and watch, and then my blood pressure starts going up because I can feel it. So I kind of, I just go. You know what? Believe me, I'm on that YouTube conspiracy bullshit stuff on there. Yes, sir, I am watching it. I'm looking at it and I'm watching it. Because I know the damn politicians are putting the fucking screws to us every single day.
Right.
And I know we got chemtrails going over our head. We have had for a long time. And I know they've got these FEMA camps, and there's so much tension right now going on between the racial wars. What the hell? I feel like I'm back in the 60s again.
All that stuff involving war happening.
It's all for us to look away from what's really going on.
It's terrible. It's just absolutely terrible. I feel like I'm, today was 45 years ago today that kids were shot on Kent State. And I remember what a horrible thing that was, that, with those kids being shot and stuff. So there was so much turmoil going on back then, but there's more turmoil now going on, and it's almost like something's there trying to egg on this shit, put an egg on it. Egg it, everything on, egg it on,
Well, yeah.
Well, let's make this a racial war. Let's make this
because
a war.
They want chaos. Chaos, honey, chaos. Because if you have
exactly
chaos,
where
do people turn to? Where does people turn to? We turn to our government. And when you have somebody up there telling us bullshit, then people that are not, I want to call them sheltered people, because these are the same people that hate people like us, hate on people like us, and call people like us crazy. Because I'm sorry, yes, I was brought up in a very sheltered home, but do I believe that sheltered shit? Hell no, I don't. I grew up and I saw it for myself.
Yeah. Yep. I hear you.
Yep.
So I'm just, this politics bullshit, I really lost all my interest in that stuff. Now, my husband's he's a big politics listener. He listens to both sides. And then he sits there and he starts growling about, how Reverend Jackson and all this stuff's up there talking a bunch of bullshit, and Al Sharpton up there talking a bunch of bullshit, and it just pisses him off so bad. gets so mad.
Yeah,
He
that's why
starts
you don't watch.
scuffing at him.
Hey, I've got a very serious question to ask you guys. Okay?
Uh-huh.
All right. Was I breathing hard today? This is politics bullshit. This is a hard-hitting question.
No, you weren't breathing hard today. However, I probably was. So
neither
Good.
of you
Alright,
was. I
good.
just heard Ron talking.
It gets to the point where I'm like barely breathing, so I'm like holding my breath while I'm talking. So then all of a sudden I have to breathe hard because I'm not really breathing at all. I'm like, I'm all self-conscious now whenever I talk on the phone. I'm like,
It's funny, Ron.
you ruined me, goddammit.
See what we've done to the poor guy.
I forget. Listen, when we're in an interview and you start doing that, I focus on your breathing and I forget what the fuck they're saying. And then me and Elaine's
I
over
don't
here
even think I breathe hard because, I mean, no one else has complained about it. So I think it's just your imagination, really.
I go to Holly. I said, "Do you hear that, Holly?" And she goes, "I think it's
Well,
Ryan
I know it's not her
breathing."
breathing.
Because it
Somebody
sounds
else?
like you. Because it sounds like you.
How I breathe?
Oh, that one day though, Ron, that one day was like the worst day ever for you with your breathing because Elaine's like, is he jacking? And he was like, no, I'm not masturbating.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, I mean, it did. It
I don't
sounded
breathe
like
hard
that.
on masturbating anyway.
No,
why not?
Ryan. Poor Ryan. Poor
I
Ryan.
do.
I'm not trying to get out. I'm not trying to get out of breath when I'm doing. I'm not exercising. It's just something you do, you know. It's like, oh.
Well, I know. I've got my brother is the same way, and he's got issues with his breathing, and he breathes real hard himself. And you'll be sitting there talking to him, and he'll be going like this, you know, because he's just breathing so hard.
But the thing, now I don't even want to breathe when I'm on the phone. So I'm like trying to hold my breath and shit, and I can't do that. So just deal with the heavy breathing. No more complaining about it.
Poor Ryan. Look what we've done to him, Holly. He's a broken man now. Oh my God, I feel bad.
Listen, that means people don't complain about it. I haven't heard anybody say anything to me like, "Guess, come on, oh my God, you're breathing hard."
Because that'd be rude.
Well, now, look, I have heard things on there that it wasn't breathing. It sounded like other people talking. And I'm thinking, well, maybe it's picking up some kind of, you know, interference or something, you know, stuff like that.
No,
I wanted to ask you, Ryan, one thing. When you've been out, when we investigated the Exchange Hotel out there, we were using the walkie-talkies, and I think we were upstairs in one of the rooms, and Stephen was downstairs. My son was keeping an eye on the cameras and such.
Yeah.
And this sounded like a horse clopping on like rocks or you know, like rocks outside. And it was actually going clippity-clop, 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 like it was running. Have you ever picked up anything like that? I mean, it actually sounded like a horse running. And we were just sitting there going, okay, well, there's no horses around here, and there's no way that we can be picking up that sound. But it was pretty cool.
Well, I mean,
have you ever caught anything like that?
No, I haven't caught anything like that. But I mean, you could always ask Angel if she's ever had anybody say they've caught something like that, or it could be a residual haunting, like residual EVP.
Right.
Like we caught an Indian chanting at Belinas, and there was no. I mean, there's Powhatan. It was Indian land, I guess, but there's no reason for us to catch an Indian there. So we're thinking it's a residual haunting. But I would ask Angel about it, see if she had ever caught anything like that before.
Yeah, I will. I mean, that was so weird, though. I mean, we've used, we use walkie-talkies. I don't know about you, Holly, but sometimes you'll hear things come on there, and you'll know that it's just picking up interference. But for horse, that's riding. It sounds like its feet, hoofs are like hitting rocks and things.
Yeah.
And it was actually sounded like somebody was riding on it. And my son goes, "Is that you, Mom? Is that you?" And I said, "No, that's not me. I'm not a damn horse. What do you mean, is it me?" He says, "Mom, do you hear that? It sounds like a horse." So, I mean, it was all of us that heard it. It wasn't just one in particular. So it was kind of weird that we even picked it up. Yeah, it was up there at the Exchange Hotel.
Yep,
we picked up
on recorder?
Yeah, and we also caught, when we were out there in the depot, okay, me and Kim were out there, and we caught a dark shadow. Now, I've heard of other people catching a dark shadow out there in the depot, in the train depot.
Oh, yeah, that's some bad stuff, some bad mojo out there.
Yeah, it
sure.
Sure is over there. Oh my God, it actually caused one of our investigators to get sick. He had to leave the room. I mean, it was It's pretty bad. Yeah, but I actually caught that dark shadow moving on the back wall, and so that was pretty cool. But
I caught an EVP that said, "Please help me."
Oh, out there
in the depot, and I asked him, like, if anybody if you want me to leave, please say, you can say my name, I'll leave. And I heard a little kid's voice in the distance. Now, I'm not positive, but it's 2 syllables, and I enhanced it. I think the little kid said Ryan. But it's like, Ryan, or, but it's so far in the distance. It's almost like, the depot is not that big. But
no, it's not.
The way it sounds like, almost sounds like the kid was yelling at me from the house down to the depot. That's how far away it sounded.
Wow.
Yeah.
The only issue I had with that house was when you go up from the first floor up the stairs, and you know how you get on that like little landing and you turn around and go up to the right there when you go up the stairs and you turn right there there's like a closet door there or something, and as soon as now we've investigated that place twice. As soon as we hit that door area up there, I'll be standing there and I'll just get so extremely dizzy. And Kim had caught a photograph where something like was moving above my head that was like there, and it was some kind of a white mist or something that was with it. So I figured it had to be something there I was just picking up, but it's always in that same spot. So, but
wow.
Have you ever investigated there, Holly?
No, I ain't never been out through there.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I ain't even. I mean, as far as I've been out to Virginia is Charlottesville.
Oh,
and that's
really?
only that's only for medical purposes.
Charlottesville's not that far from Charlottesville. We gotta get you out here sometime to do these investigations with us sometime.
I know.
Yeah, because it's a pretty interesting place, and
we've had Angel on the show with us.
I know. I heard her when she was on. She's good. She was talking about it. She's so just into that history of everything, and she knows everything, and it's just so in depth. And it takes a person pretty special in order to, do that kind of stuff. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm signing off for tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to hit the bed myself
because here, so
I got my grandson tomorrow, and he's a handful. So.
Oh, I know all about it.
Thanks for coming on the show with us. We appreciate it.
Oh, I loved it. I had a great time. I love getting on there and talking to y'all and everything. It's
we love it
happy.
too. Oh.
Okay. Yeah, well, you get some sleep and don't fall asleep on talking on the phone.
I just don't want to piss myself.
Yeah, don't. Yeah.
Okay,
I gotta
guys.
drive
Well,
back.
I'll talk
I gotta
to you
drive back
later.
home now. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
All right.
Y'all take care. Have a
Good
good
night.
day.
Love you
Good night.
guys.
Bye. Night. Love you. Love you too. Bye.
Good night. You there?
Night. Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Well, I figured we should tell our fine freaks, whoever's listening, who we have on the show next week. Next week is going to be an awesome show because, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, we have numerologist Allison Ballman, and hour of the show. For the second hour of the show, we're going to have Bruce Burklow from. He's actually from New York or New Jersey or one of those, and he's
somewhere up there.
He's going to be talking about the event going on at St. Albans. He is actually hosting it, Paranormal Restore. That's what it's called.
And I will have my St. Albans report next week from my adventure at St. Albans Sanatorium this weekend. So I'm looking forward to talking to him.
Oh. Yeah,
it's going to be fun.
Freaking awesome.
All right, well, I'm going to get off the phone, so we love you,
all
freaks.
Right. Yes, we do.
I love you, Holly.
Do.
Have a good night.
I love you, Ryan. Good night. You be careful.
And, I will. I'll be home in a little bit. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye.